Hi, this is Jim Blasingame, the Small Business Advocate. And if you'll give me 3 minutes of your time, I'll help you have the maximum opportunity to be successful in your small business. Now, let's talk about social media and the Tour de France. The 99th Tour de France, recently completed, is the pinnacle of bicycle races. Small businesses can learn a lot from how tour teams execute their strategy. Perhaps you've seen a tour competitor break away and leave behind the peloton. That's the big bunch of riders. Whereupon, one of the commentators would say, someone better chase him down before he gets out of sight and glides across the finish line unchallenged. But the chasing down only happens when it's clear that the breakaway has legs and isn't going to fizzle back into the pack. Making a counter move on an ill-advised dash just wastes energy. Whenever something new comes to the marketplace, our response should be to determine if the shiny new object has legs or is an ill-fated breakaway. Wise managers don't chase down fads. 3 years ago, I predicted that while social media might be a craze, it's not a fad. This means when the dust settles on the hype about new rules, we would be left with something more intuitive to a business than the unfortunate term social media. We'd be left with productive and powerful tools. These tools are powerful because they help small businesses create online customer communities. And they're productive because anyone can use them without spending a lot of precious capital. We wanted to know where our small business audience was on keeping social media breakaway leaders in sight. So recently we asked this question: how much of a commitment has your business made toward a social media strategy? Here's what we learned. Only 13% of our respondents said, we have a social media strategy and it's working. Almost 4 of 10 said, we have a social media strategy, but we're not sure if it's working. While 31% said they want a social media strategy, but can't seem to make it happen. And 1/5 of our sample said, we're doing nothing about social media on purpose. Every day that goes by, qualified prospects will increasingly come from online activity, including communities you build and join, and less from traditional prospecting methods. The good news is that you don't have to win the social media race, but you do have to participate. And like almost half of our survey respondents, you must keep the leaders in sight. And if you're like the other half of our survey, where you're struggling with a social media strategy, hire a 20-something to help you. Write this on a rock. You don't have to win the social media race, but you do have to keep the winners in sight. This is Jim Blasingame. I'll see you on the radio or on the internet at smallbusinessadvocate.com.